Hello friends. So today we are going to talk about ChatGPT 3 versus ChatGPT 4. Now we all know that ChatGPT is pretty awesome, but there are few differences between the latest version of ChatGPT 4 and we are going to go through each one of them. So starting with the first one, the word limit. So originally when ChatGPT 3 came in, it had the word limit of 3000. Meanwhile ChatGPT 4 actually took it 8 times higher than its predecessor, and now its word limit is almost like 25,000, which is huge, which is almost equivalent to someone writing their entire thesis or other like bunch of different reports, right? So that's pretty awesome. If we compare the intelligence portion between ChatGPT 3 and 4, well, ChatGPT 3 was able to clear the US bar exam with 10 percentile. So it ended up in like the bottom 10% of folks who gave the exam. So it was smart, but it was not like pretty smart. But for ChatGPT 4, it was able to clear the exam with 90 percentile. That is almost like some of the most brilliant lawyers who are able to do that, and that is pretty awesome. So this is like the appropriate meme I could find for ChatGPT 4. If we see like some more exam results that ChatGPT 4 has been able to complete successfully, these are just few exams. Now if you see, it consists of almost all important exams in the US current system. Like there is LSATs, there is uniform bar exam, SATs, GRE exams, then all of them, like ChatGPT 4 is probably in like top 10 or 20 percentile, and this is only the second or third version of the GPT. So can you imagine like what would be the future of AI? And also if we compare the ChatGPT 4 with its predecessor, we can clearly see that there is a significant improvement in terms of the smartness or intelligence of ChatGPT 4. This is definitely much more human-like and much more powerful. If we see the number of input parameters that ChatGPT 3 and 4 use, clearly the image on the right is sufficient to show that the number of input parameters that ChatGPT 4 considers is humongous compared to its predecessor. Like if you thought the original ChatGPT was smart, try out ChatGPT 4. It's phenomenal. Now if we check that what are the input types that GPT-3 versus GPT-4 can accept, ChatGPT-3 accepts text only input. So any question you want to give it as an input, you can provide it as like a text format. Like you can ask something like, okay, tell me a joke about Winston Churchill and FDR in a Shakespearean style, and if you write that text, ChatGPT-3 would be able to generate the answer. But for GPT-4, it accepts image as an input as well. This is a huge improvement on the GPT level and all entire AI community, because imagine a machine that is able to understand the image and provide some meaningful output from it. So here are few samples that GPT-4 received as an input, and I'll tell you what was the output. So first it received this image as the input, and then someone asked that what do you think about this image. You know what ChatGPT-4 came up with? It said that if the strings are cut, balloons will fly away. Now I know this is an elementary commonsensical knowledge, but for a machine to understand this is a huge deal. And if it can do it like this up style balloon, it's pretty awesome. Also this was given as the actual input, where the chickens were arranged in a shape of a map of like our planet Earth, and GPT-4 was able to understand that this meme is intended to be funny, and this is just like posing a joke, and this is just like a mundane and a silly joke. So that's pretty awesome. If we see the accuracy between GPT-3 versus GPT-4, well, GPT-4 is supposed to be almost like 80% more accurate, and we can already see why. Because GPT-4 uses so much larger input parameters as consideration before giving any answer. So that is why it is much more accurate, and that is reflected in the different results that we saw all across. So average speed for GPT-3 is that in order to generate 100 token, on average it's going to take 6 seconds, which is pretty fast for a machine to do that, because it is generating the answer as an AI and the questions can be any random. So that was good. But GPT-4 is almost twice the speed compared to GPT-3, and it can do the same thing in just 3 seconds. If we see some real life applications or real life companies that have already started integrating their systems with the AI, like Bing is probably being used by 100 million plus users, where they are using the powers of the global search with the AI. Morgan Stanley started implementing the AI in their wealth management. GPT-4 also deepens the conversation change between Duolingo. So it is going to be a huge step forward for people with different language skills coming together and working as an integrated option. And also Stripe has started leveraging GPT-4 to combat different fraud activities that happens through their payment API system. So these are just very few examples, and if we see the news daily, more and more companies and more items are now being integrated with AI. And this is not going to be a question of whether AI is going to replace your job or not. The question is whether you use AI effectively in your job or not, because you have to get yourself integrated with AI and make your lives easier and also do more amazing things. Because imagine, back in the day, people were debating that whether we should be using calculators or not, because calculator makes our life so much easy that we actually lose our mathematical thinking capability. And that was a wrong thinking, because we all know what calculators did to the math world and how it was able to smoothen up so much calculation that things become easier, and people started finding out more and more mathematical models and building all of these new awesome technologies like this AI we are talking about. So AI is a good thing, and definitely keep interested in that. In my conclusion, if I have to tell you, in my opinion, ChatGPT in itself is an awesome piece of technology, but the latest version, the GPT-4, is much more powerful. It is so good, and it can do a lot of things that we can't even imagine that an AI or a machine should be able to do. It is scary and eye-opening at the same time, and you can only be amazed and try to leverage it as much as possible. Do I think that this is going to be the final version and this is where AI is where it could be? No, because remember when the first iPhone came in 2007? Well, it was a complete game changer for the telephone industry. But if we compare the latest iPhone with the original iPhone 2000 that came in 2007, there is a huge difference. And this latest iPhone is much more smarter, much more better compared to the original one. So ChatGPT is only going to build upon what it currently has. And this is my assumption, that original ChatGPT was like the iPhone 1, and slowly it is improving, but still there are a lot of rooms to improve, and we will be seeing bunch of different applications in the future. So I'm excited for that, and I hope you enjoy this video.